Hello everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast synopsis. This audio podcast synopsis is part of this, as part of the Pheno Rage, and this audio podcast synopsis as part of a Pathology Chronicle, and this audio podcast synopsis as part of a Storm Logistics production. Uh, in this audio podcast synopsis, a look at sort of some works from in around 2022, and looking at sort of a highlight publication, a highlight publication in around 2022, and a publication some works that have been highlighted, sorry, in around a transfusion journal, a transfusion journal remit, and the publication looked at leadership and management, and what should it mean in pathology. In the publication, in as part of the publication, as part of this audio podcast and this audio podcast pathology chronicle, with the pub the audio this audio podcast chronicle will look at this work's leadership and management, and what it should mean in pathology, by sort of delving into laboratory medicine, and pathology, and to look at sort of the background, the objectives, knowing healthcare through research practice, looking at aspects of transfusion practice, and also looking at stepping out of inertia, stepping out of inertia, and then looking at what can be done, and looking at science, and evidence-based practice, and then a summary. And as part of this sort of audio podcast synopsis, if you like, to iterate the following. So laboratory medicine and pathology is dynamic, and challenging, and thus requiring this sort of interactivity, and inspiring role models, leaders, requiring interactivity and inspiring role models, leaders, and managers. And so, in today's ever changing, sort of ever changing and developing healthcare environs, uh, identifying and developing scientists and leaders and managers is one of is and has been perhaps one of the sort of greatest challenges, faced by the scientific and the sciences profession. And so this again this audio podcast, Pathology Chronicle, Pathology Chronicle, sort of audio podcast series, audio podcast chronicle. We'll look at again sort of into what leadership and management should mean in line to laboratory medicine and pathology. So that draws this audio podcast synopsis to a close. This audio podcast synopsis, as part of the Pheno Rage. This audio podcast synopsis as part of a Pathology Chronicle, and this audio podcast synopsis as part of a Storm Robotics production. Thank you.